What's going on, people? So, usually when I have a lot of videos to record and I'm wearing a shirt that is tied to some of them or whatever, I usually lead with like the video that it's tied to. But today we're not doing that because these 90s here, right? Kind of just want to get this video out of the way, and then since otherwise it would have broke up the flow because all the other stuff is kind of related, you know what I mean? Either way, so you saw the side of the box and whatnot. So real quick backstory and all that stuff. So these are not for me, right? They're for my dad. It was kind of a late Father's Day sort of gift, and obviously, like, since you're seeing these here and that calendar says July, I am very late in getting these to him. I was gonna send them to him a while ago, but then I just kind of forgot about it, and life happens, right? And he doesn't really care. I mean, he's just kind of going on about his day. The phone call was enough for him, right? But he did want some Jordan 1 camouflage something or other shoes a while ago. He was like, hey, can you look for these? Those ones he was talking about were like the golf variation, which seemed like they're a little bit different than the standard. So I was kind of like, I don't know about getting those because I couldn't find like a normal version in that same color. But I did see these, and I thought, oh, well, maybe this will be fine. So whatever. Let's talk about it for a second. This right here, the Nike Air Max 90 Premium in Black University Gold with some kind of army camo stuff in there too. Now that you're all caught up, let's go ahead and jump on into it, huh? Down there, across the bottom, that is so plain. Like, it makes sense, right? It's just I feel like I'm used to there being more colors on the bottom of things, but I don't know. I could just be wrong on that. But, plain black, whatever, it works. It's the bottom. What's the matter? Moving on up here, midsole and all that stuff, right? So the white, looking at it now, like in some ways kind of like throws us off a little bit, but I feel like a lot of Air Max 90s have white on the midsole. I don't know, I could be wrong. And then in the back end, of course, you got a little bit of that gold and whatnot around the air bubble. If you peek down on into the inside of that air bubble, it is blacked out in there, right? So those colors make sense, but again, the white. And I never really noticed this until like this moment right now. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Does that seem weird to you? All right, a couple more pictures real quick and whatever, so you can kind of see what all's going on here. Lots of times, like when I slip in these extra pictures, it's largely unnecessary. It's just like a thing that I do. I like to be consistent with the videos and all that as far as the presentation. But this time around, it does actually make some amount of sense to put some more pictures in there. Anyway, so let's go ahead and jump on into this to some extent, give you some kind of review of sorts or whatever. So, toe box area. We're going to start there, right on the top piece, the black piece. That is super soft. It feels like really good. I mean, I know it says premium on the side of the box and stuff, but sometimes just because something says it's going to be nice or whatever doesn't mean it actually is. But this time around, yeah, so far so good. So yeah, standard mesh type stuff. It just seems like it's like a slightly different material or something. Then on the outside of that, around the toe box, right, you have all the army stuff. And real quick, it seems to me like it's kind of a thick cut, right? Because if you look at that down at it from like an above angle or whatever, it just kind of comes off that way. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not super familiar with the Air Max 90s because I haven't bought a pair in forever. But either way, you got this whole thing going on. It looks really cool. The black parts are some kind of like, it's almost like something's painted on there. Then like the brown parts, tan parts, whatever, it's kind of like a nubuck sort of situation. And then the green parts is, I don't know, it's almost like almost rubbery in some kind of ways. It has like a little texture to it as well. So otherwise, everything's pretty cool in my opinion, just like those different things. Each one of those comes off a little bit differently, but together it makes sense to me. Moving on into the middle area here, you do have a black swoosh right there. It's kind of easy to miss because of the whole camouflage thing, and it's black and all that stuff. But hey, there's that for you. Moving on just a little bit more from there. This typical Air Max logo. It's like this little cutout window, which I think is kind of cool looking, I guess. And you got the little yellow background there. Moving on to the very back. A lot of the stuff that you saw on the rest of the shoes kind of all here, right? So you got the army stuff down around the bottom. Then the top piece, it's going to be like the same sort of feel as the toe box was. Just a little bit stiffer, a little bit thicker because it is the back of the shoe. And then of course the Nike Air logo on this yellow tab. So, like I said, all the same stuff you expected from the front. And I will say this real quick. On the inside of the shoe, right? it looks exactly like the outside of this shoe did. So for some reason I was expecting it to be like a little bit different, but no, it's basically like the same thing. So that's kind of cool, I guess. Consistency, you know, can be a good thing. Jumping back over to the front, you know, so where the laces are, typical flat black laces, black all the way through to the tips, nothing fancy about them, you know. It might be kind of cool if they slip some of those little yellow tips on there or something, but hey, whatever. So that's what's going on there. Behind the tongue, you have more of that army stuff happening, right? Same sort of thing as you saw everywhere else. It's just that it's going to be on the tongue, which is actually pretty plush, right? Because as you get up to the top, you can kind of more see that. So you have that yellow tab first off, right? Kind of like you did on the back, but this time around it's going to be just like a patch of sorts, right? Whatever that material may happen to be. And then around that, all the normal, you know, camo stuff. But then on the back, as you look at that, like then you kind of tell it's like the normal thick plush style that they often have, right? So that's why I say like through the tongue, it's all kind of thick, which is cool, you know. As to the comfort overall, I was just thinking about that with some Adidas earlier. But anyway, so I think that's kind of mostly that. On the side of the lacing and all, I didn't really point it out, but because I don't think I need to, but you do have more of those big yellow things kind of holding down the laces for the most part. So there's going to be that for you. Speaking of the yellow, down on the inside, you have yellow text for the Nike Air on the insole. The rest of it is going to be all blacked out. But you probably caught that from earlier. But just in case you didn't, you know, I do kind of bring attention to some things that I don't need to. But hey, you know, because I could really just like show you these pictures and you'd probably be just fine. I don't need to really walk you through it like you're some kind of idiot. But there are some idiots out there watching these things. I can usually tell in the comment section. Alright, I think that's everything there as far as the visual piece goes. So, I'm going to hit you with some. My allergies have been like just god awful lately, right? You can probably tell that if you've been like listening and paying attention to like how some of the words I've been saying have like been coming out, because I can tell, right? And I'm like, geez, Tristan, get it together. Not my favorite day, people. Alright, so I'm going to get you some, my personal, there it is again, my personal opinion on these things, right? Let you know how I feel about them, and then we'll move on. Well, actually, I was going to say, then we'll move on to like the sizing and stuff, but I won't have a whole lot to say for like the sizing and everything, just letting you know that now. It'll probably just be like me, you know, saying what I remember of these, because these aren't for me, like I said. It is a 10, I wear 9.5. So I could probably wear these, but they're not mine, so I'm not going to. Alright, now, that aside, how do I feel about these? Well, glad you asked. I am okay with these. Like the visual piece, the presentation, all that is fine to me, right? Because like it said premium, they gave you this premium sort of appearance. Like the quality of the materials is really nice and all that good stuff. I think that is very well done. I have no complaints there. I despise the camo look. Well, that's a strong word. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So for me, the shoe is like not something that I would wear, not something that I would want. But my dad, he's super into this thing, right? So it's like, all right, so every now and then when I see something of this style, I'll pick it up for him, you know, because he likes it. And I honestly think that just given like the overall colors here, I think he's going to like these a fair amount. So I'll find out soon enough. Luckily, like they were released on sale. So even if he doesn't, it's only, well, 110 maybe? Something like that. Down from whatever. I don't know. And I'm not even sure what that was, because I don't know if that was dollars or pounds, because I bought these from End. Either way, they were on sale, so even if they don't work out, I didn't pay as much, but I'm pretty sure they will, because it looks like a kind of thing he'd be into. It's just I'm not really into it. Honestly, I'm not even a big Air Max 90 guy, right? And I will say this, right, just before people go getting all worked up. The thing is, right, when I look at all the other Air Maxes, I like them visually more. Is this bad? No, it's not bad. It's just that the other things are better, right? Comfort-wise, can't complain about that. You know what I'm saying? So that's fine. That's a non-factor. But the thing is, I do buy these well, not anymore, but I've bought a handful over the years or whatever, because they do get some good colors. And if the colors are good, then I'll overlook some things, right? But if you're asking like, how do I feel about the Air Max 90 as a model? Whatever. That's kind of where that sits. All right. So sizing, right? Now, again, these aren't for me, so I'm not going to have any sort of like video of me wearing these or whatever. We're just going off of how I remember things fitting. And the last time that I bought an Air Max 90, whenever that was, I did buy it true to size, and I remember it working out fine. The materials might have been different, might have been the same. I don't really know, because I don't think I have any premium Air Max 90s. I mean, maybe I do, maybe I don't, who knows. But I would imagine that these are probably still going to be in line with a true to size fit. My suggestion to you though would be to go online, find more Air Max 90 premium reviews, or just current Air Max 90 reviews in general. Watch those, see what people think. Because sometimes like there will be like generational releases or whatever, like when they did the 2020 30-year anniversary things. Some people were saying like the ones that they made around that time were fitting a little bit different. They all fit the same, but just a little bit different than things that came before and after. So maybe just watch some stuff that's like more recent, see what people are saying, and just go with that. But true to size is probably going to be all right for you. And the comfort is fine too. I mean, it's old stuff, but you know, Air Max technology seems to hold up okay. It's not going to rival modern day stuff or whatever, but it's not uncomfortable, right? You can walk a day in one of these and be completely fine with it. So there you go. From me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. For anyone who listened through this whole thing and bared with me through all this stuff that's going on, wow, I would have walked away. So you are better than I am. All right, on to the next thing. Later, people.